We just finished the third week of the second closed beta for the highly anticipated game, Wuthering Waves. I have played the beta every day for these past weeks and compiled my thoughts about it in this video. If you watched me live streaming my first impressions of the game, you saw how crazy I got over some stuff. But I was not crazy over everything. I saw so many people giving final feedback just a few days after the beta release, and I thought, a bit too early I guess. So I decided to form my own opinions and play long enough to feel it out myself. Without further ado, let's see what kurogames has been cooking. The combat is basically the main dish of Wuthering Waves, right? At this point, I think everyone is aware of that. If you're playing the beta yourself, you understand how good it feels. If you're not, don't worry. You will try it out soon and you too will understand. Before Closed Beta 2, I was already very excited to try the combat myself after watching probably hundreds of videos of people playing. I gotta say it was worth the wait, and overall I'm very happy with how smooth, dynamic and different it feels to challenge monsters and bosses in Wuthering Waves. The new set of skills named Intro and Outro skills turned the combat, which was already fast-paced, into a very fun quick swap experience. For the first week of the beta, I was really bummed out that the elemental reactions were removed for the Intro and Outro skills to exist. But as I experienced the combat daily, I kinda understand why they did it. The thing is, the combat feels really complete now. Every character has a resonance skill, a resonance liberation, also known as normal skill and ultimate, plus their very own forte circuit, which is the character's particularity. And now they also have new skills as they are leaving and entering the field. You multiply that by 3 and the team already feels more than complete. For some, it's almost too much to learn. The intro and outro skills brought a lot of variety and made team building and theory crafting exciting. But those cool elemental reactions from CBT1 are all gone. Remember how cool the reactions with Spectral were? That time stop bubble looked so fun to play with. Well, back then the intro and outro skills were not a thing. They replaced each other, and it makes sense. If the elemental reactions existed on top of everything that's already there, it would feel overwhelming. The opinions around this vary a lot because elemental reactions were expected to be a thing. And after all, that leaves us with the question, why do characters have elements then? Well, right now elements matter on enemy resistance. For example, Jian has a hard time fighting the monkeys because of their arrow resistance. Also for echo set effects, in punishing Grey Raven, kurogames' other kid, there are also no elemental reactions. The elements exist to buff and nerf bosses and to make certain characters work together. So at the end of the day, elemental reactions don't need to exist. I think people are just expecting to be similar to the other game. But if you think about it, there really is a necessity. The combat feels really good as it is. We'll see how they will take the feedback though. But I can't imagine they will do a whole revamp of the combat system for the official release. And honestly, I don't want to. Characters' forte circuits, dodging, and perfect pairing already make the combat incredibly fun and unique. You can take the time you would spend thinking about elemental reactions and learn how to dodge bosses, because trust me, you need to. There are 2 endgame modes right now. Tower of Reverberation and Depths of Elusive Realm. They are very different from each other, and both of them feel really nice to play. Tower of Reverberation is a dungeon type mode where you face high difficulty challenges on different levels. Each character has a vigor limit and you can use them for a limited number of times. I tried this one a lot, and let me tell you, I struggled even on the first levels. Probably because I was not very well geared, and we'll talk about that later, but still. I had a good time and I just beat the very first difficulty level, and not even with the max score. This is the endgame mode that will test your skill level and require you to have multiple characters built. And you will probably have rewards refreshed every 2 weeks. The rewards though are underwhelming. I'm really hoping they make it more appealing on the official release. Depths of Elusive Realm is the other endgame mode and is a completely different approach. First and foremost, it looks incredible from the very beginning. You enter from this ethereal, dreaming looking door, and all the stages inside look stunning. This mode is really unique, and I had the most fun with this one if we are comparing the two of them. Only some characters can be used here. As of now, we can use by Z, Taochi, and Rover. I don't see a refresh time, but I imagine there must be some type of rotation here. At least I hope so. Here, your equipment doesn't matter. You will build your echo inside the mode with special buffs. At the beginning of the mode, you choose one of the 2 echoes options they give you, and as you beat each room, you'll get buff cards that will enhance your character and at the same time give elemental points to unlock your echo's skills. You can do crazy things like turn by Z, which is a healer, into a basic attack DPS. I tried that and you can check it out here. I really like this one, but still I hope the rewards are better. Overall, I really like the 2 endgame modes we have so far, but my ultimate hope is that we see something that we can do with our friends in co-op mode in the future. So, I already talked about the gacha in another video where I vented for almost half an hour, but I'm gonna speak briefly about it again. The gacha doesn't feel amazing, okay? Apart from the clear glow up on the animations and the UI of the banners, I'm still not a fan of the raids. We have a guaranteed weapon and that's okay, but I still don't like the 80 heartbeat with a 50-50 chance. My hope here is that they will be very generous with how much gacha currency we get from each patch. They can still change their mind over some raid aspects for the official release, but I really doubt it. The UI needs a lot of improvement in my opinion. They improved a ton from CBT1, but there's still a long way to go. The problem for me is that it feels almost like exclusively a mobile game when it really shouldn't. Everything is too big on the PC client and the font is not working for me. Overall, not my favorite. I'm hoping to see a revamped version on the official release. The game starts really easy, maybe even too easy, but it becomes a bit harder as the world level increases. It's definitely not going to be the type of game where you rotate between characters, clicking their skills and ultimates, and eventually beat every content. It's hard to give an ultimatum if the game is hard or not, even though it feels like that's exactly what people want. It really depends on what games you play, you know, but overall, I don't think it's the most casual game out there. You'll be required to learn how to play, learn the character skills, learn how the bosses move and such. Personally, I don't think it's a hard game. There were some people out there asking for a specific parry button, which honestly makes me laugh. The game is not supposed to be simple, okay? Easy and casual are not really kurogames style. I mean, the hologram higher difficulties are hard, but you can just skip it if you want. Overall, I think it's okay and exactly what I was imagining. There's definitely some character balancing that needs to happen. Dungeon, for example, is too broken, but that should be fixed easily. Look, I am really, and I mean really impressed with how incredibly gorgeous this game looks. I have zero complaints. The visuals shocked me. I play on a widescreen monitor and it feels surreal how good it looks. I was expecting it to be good, but not this good. The characters look exactly like they look on their splash arts. I'm speechless on how kurogames were able to get to this level of quality, considering Punishing Grey Raven doesn't make so much money for them. And for this, I really applaud kurogames. Just 10 out of 10. If they manage to make it even better for the official release, that'd be awesome, but I really don't know how they will do that. As far as animations go, my only problems are with the swim animation. It feels too fast. Like, we are not Michael Phelps. And I find it a bit weird how the mobs feel stiff. We are hitting them hard and basically they don't move. That could use some work. Here lies the big problem. I mean, it's bad, really bad. So bad that it makes you want to stop and give up. The ecosystem is 100% the big problem in the game right now. But on the bright side, the problem is so obvious that we can be sure they're going to adjust it. So here's how bad it is right now. There's an echo cost capped at 10. Each echo has a cost. Common is 1, Elite is 3, and Overlord or Calamity is 4. Each echo has 2 main stats. The first is random, the second is fixed. The element of Elite and Common echoes are random. Now, the substats are a whole other problem. Every 5 levels you can unlock a new substat, but they are not unlocked. immediately. You need a whole other farmable currency to unlock the substatus, a different currency than the ones you use to increase the echoes levels. And the substats are also random and they don't increase with the echoes level. This means you can get an echo with the right main stats and spend a lot of resources just to see what the substats are, only to find out that they're actually useless. And oh, I forgot to say, you really don't get a lot of echoes. And the tasted fields, which were supposedly made for you to get more echoes, are really underwhelming and cost a lot of energy. So all in all, the system feels really bad right now. I don't want them to change it in a way that makes it completely casual and easy, but right now it feels excessive even for hardcore players like me. I hope they find a good balance here. Thankfully, the problems are basically in the numbers, so that shouldn't be too hard to fix. Two good points about the ecosystem though. You can still farm them with your friends in co-op, and you can actually get a substatus row with the same status as the main stat, which is pretty cool. The music. Guys, the music. The boss fights with the music. Oh my god, it's really hard to express with words. Just make sure you are playing with your headphones when the game comes out, okay? Because it's a whole experience. Well, these are my main considerations for the second closed beta of Wuthering Waves. My conclusion is that the game is almost ready. There are just a handful of things to be fixed, honestly. Considering how amazing they did between CBT 1 and 2, and how well they took the feedback, I think we can rest assured that all of this will be addressed, and we are going to have an amazing game really soon. I cannot put into words how excited I am for the official release. This beta made me fall in love even more. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as I'll be covering Wuthering Waves in detail for a long time to come. And I'm still streaming it on Twitch. See you in the next video, take care!